חזק וברוך יוסף. So tafshil, something that was cooked, we're talking about, again, things that are tafshil akum, right? If something that was cooked or baked by a non-Jew. And we said yesterday that bishul is worse than baking. I mean, cooking is worse than baking. Now there's a lot of them, we spoke about restaurants and so on, but today we're going to go into more into the homes, the houses. Now there's a lot of people that have maids, that they have nannies, and they go ahead and they start cooking. So obviously, even though they physically help out a lot, right? But spiritually, it might be a big loss, a big damage. So that's why it's very important that before they start, you teach them and you go after them and you make sure that, because they don't understand, they don't know all the halachot that we know. So it's very careful. Now, and especially in the kitchen. Now, if they want to cook for themselves, can they cook? I mean, all the ingredients are going to be kasher, right? Because they are in your house. So can they take one of your pans? They keep meat and milk separate for sure. Can they cook in your house?
Yes.
No.
Or no.
They're going to be tarif. For themselves. But for themselves, it's going to be tarif. It's going to be tarif. It's very important. Okay? Because that not the food, the pot they're going to be making is going to be taref, and it needs to be kosherized. That's why very important. You have someone in your house, right? You have someone in your house that is cooking. We have to make sure, like we said yesterday, that you will be the one to turn on the fire. Or let's say last minute you saw, okay, she went ahead, she put the meat on the fire and everything, but it's not finished yet. You can still save it. You can even save the pot and the food. How? By taking it off and putting it back on, or mixing it. As long as it's not finished, as long as it's not off the fire is off, then it is okay. Now, another advice, and this is advice that we have Baruch Hashem by us. I don't know how many of you have in your house this actual gas, fire for the stove and for the stovetop. Because the electric one is less chamur, it's not as severe, right? The halacha, what they said for not to have the cooking was on a fire, and the electric stove is only midirabanan. It's not midirabanan. It's already midirabanan. This is already midirabanan or of derabanan. So therefore, let's say in places when you have nursing homes, or someone has an elderly parents, that they have some nanny that lives there and takes care of them, and she's going to be cooking for them. If they have gas top, try to switch that to an electric top, because that will give it b'di'avad, after fact, will be a much better solution. Also microwave, right? It's not mishulesh, that's right.
Which foods are going to be?
Anything that they're going to be cooking. Anything that they're cooking. Anything that they're cooking.
How serious is OU tuna versus Bishul Israel?
How serious it is? I'm makpid for Sfaradim, it's considered Bishul Goy. For Sfaradim, it's considered Bishul Goy. Okay? If you only b'di'evet, if you're able to get Bishul Israel, that's very important. Because we said that Ashkenazim and Sfaradim are huge different in it. According to Ashkenazim, it's enough that he just turn on the fire and he walks away. But according to Sfaradim, that's not called Bishul. He has to mix it. He has to do another part in it to put on the pot on the fire. Okay. Now a little bit of a musar. The pasuk in Mishlei says, "Divrei rashaim erav dam ufi yesharim yatzilem." The words of the wicked, they are like ambition you to get your blood out. But the words of Yesharim, the mouth of Yesharim, the mouth of the righteous, right? The mouth of the just, that will save them. You've seen many times. If you go, you're like traveling somewhere far, and you meet another Jew, right? And what is the first thing you start talking? Oh, where are you from? Oh, you're over there. Do you know this rabbi? You know this guy over there? You know that guy? What is it that we have? That as soon as we meet each other, we always starting to talk. We have this like instant click. You have to understand that. It doesn't exist somewhere else. It doesn't exist somewhere else. And it's actually the opposite. You know, you can go, you can talk to someone, but go ahead and start asking him for his first name and last name. Hey, what do you want my first name and last name? Well, we could schmooze. They'll talk to you about the weather and about this and about that. But why go ahead and start mentioning the first name and last name and where you come from? That's too much. That's too much. And now, where do we know that this is the way of this is only by us that we have this closeness? Rabbi Zalman Sorotskin said something beautiful. You know, when the angel fought with Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu, he fought with him. And then the angel asked him, what's your name? He says, Yaakov, right? Ma shimcha Yaakov. Then he tells him, Lord, Yaakov kim shucha Israel. But when Yaakov Avinu asked the angel, what is your name? He says, Lama tishal lishmi? Why are you asking my name? That's it, until here. He says, Rabbi Sorotsky says, from here, there's always Saro shel Esav. There was the minister of Esav. That's what the Goyim, they know, okay, they will schmooze with you, but until there, until the names. But by us, Baruch Hashem, and that's what the Pasuk is saying. Ufi yesharim yetzilem. Our mouth, when we unify with each other, we are conversing, אנחנו רק מדברים, בינינו, זה כבר נותן לנו הצלה, עם האחדות שלנו, with the unity that we have between us. May Baruch Hashem, we have greater and greater unity. We have Avat Israel like that. We see Bezrat Hashem, the coming of Mashiach and Amen. Turn on the Be'eliyahu.